Hey War Gamers, Purple Druid here, and today we're going to test out my new phone slash camera, and we are going to work on the city of Highfork. It's a small city, population 3,000, and so we're going to sketch it out here on this hex paper, and I may or may not dress it up a little more. But for right now, we're going to use some Sharpies, and we're going to use some colored pencils, maybe, to lay this out. This is 11 by 17 piece of paper. It has small hexagons on it. I printed these off. I used the, I'll put a link down below. There's a website you can create your own hex paper and graph paper on. And then I drew these larger hexes on, so there's 5 small hexes in each of the larger ones. These are 0.2 miles. Across from flat to flat. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. This is 1/10 of a mile, 0.1. Because what I've done here is I sketched this out. This is, so there's 2 hexes from flat to flat. So these are 1/10 of a mile. So each of the sub hexes, we're going to say, since that's essentially 500 feet, each of these sub hexes is going to be 100 feet. And so this will let us lay out the town. Now I did draw in one contour line. This is 50 feet above the flat, and so 0 is going to be where the river is, of course. The river flows in this direction from left to right, and so I looked that up online, and when that happens, you get a shallow area over here with sediment. You get a kind of what they call a stagnation zone, separation zone here, so there's not much current, and then the current goes whoosh like that. So what we have is the current goes this way, and then this is going to be a shallower area, and this will be a shallower area as well. And so let's go ahead, and first we're going to start off with the main keep. When this was founded, the person who founded this town, they built a small square keep right here on the top of the hill, and they built a round wall around it, the gate. And then over time they expanded. Maybe they brought in some, their followers and what have you, and so they built some towers kind of around the crest of the hill in order to make it defensible. And they built a little gate over here facing the water, because the water, obviously that's a resource. And so our walls are going to stretch like so. And as I said, so here's our contour line. So then, of course, as time goes by, more people will gather, and we will develop a road. So there's a road right here. Let's do that in brown. And my format, oops, that's not brown, that's dark gray. The format is a line dash, or line dot, dash dot, something along those lines. And while the town is building up here, there's also a wagon road here that heads off towards the forest. And there's another village further north, and so there's a wagon train, or a wagon track, that runs to the north as well. And again, over time, they will build a tower around the base of the hill, or build walls for more security. So we're going to have a large tower here on the shore, and then they'll have a fortified gatehouse another gatehouse here. I guess I should be really using my template, huh? Or grab a ruler when it's time to draw the walls between these. And then we'll have our walls, which we'll draw from center to center. I don't know exactly how thick these should be. Probably one line is a good approximation, you know, with one small hexagon here, which is just about 9 millimeters. So that's 9 millimeters is your 50 feet, 53 feet, something along those lines. So here's how our castle has grown into a fortified town. And now, let's see here. So I started, where is it? Here it is. So in the Kal-Arath Lords of the Pit supplement, there is a city crawl instructions where to determine your own map of the city of Thraz, you'll drop 12d6 on a sheet of paper. 1s and 2s are slums, 3 is docks, 4 is markets, 5 is a temple district, and 6 is an opulent area. So what I did is I scaled that down for hamlets, villages, and towns. A hamlet will have d4 times 100 plus d100 population. They'll be at a density of 80 people per acre, and they'll have one market and then residential area. A village will be d4 plus 4, so 5 to 9, times 100 plus d100. They'll be at 100 people per acre. And then what we'll do is we'll drop 9 to 12 chits over the map area as labeled. We'll drop 1d6 for the temple location, and that will explode on a 6. So there's really no limit to the number of temples that could theoretically be in a village or a town. Now the town is going to be d6 times 1000 plus d100 times 5. And so that'll give us our population from 1005 to 6500. And a town being smaller will have 9d6, and we'll go ahead and roll. 1 will be a slum, 2 will be a residential, 3 will be docks, which there could be 1 to 2. 4 will be markets, there could be 1 to 2. 5 will be opulent area, there'll only be 1. And then again, the 6 will be a temple, which is exploding. And we'll re-roll results of 3 to 5 if there's more than 1 or 2. So depending on the size of the town, there may only be 1 dock, there may only be 1 market, in which case we'll re-roll those dice. And any that come up 6s, of course, will be new temples. And like I said, there's no limit to the number of temples possible in any settlement. So this is a town. There are 3,000 people approximately in this town. We've already established that prior to this. So that means we're going to roll 96. We are going to roll 96, and this will tell us where the various things are. Any dice that go outside of this area, I wonder if I can stop them with a pen. Let's see. Let's see what happens. We'll just push them in and go from there. So, spread them out a little bit. Get them in there. Okay. So, 1 is a slum, 2 is residential, 3 will be docks. We don't have any 3s, so there will be docks. 1 of these needs to be docks. 4 is going to be a market, so there'll be a market here. 5 will be an opulent area, so this section here will be for opulent, and this will be for opulent, but there's only 1, so we're going to re-roll this die. And rather than re-roll it, we're just going to make this into a 3 and call this the docks. And 6 is the temple area. We don't have a 6, so that's very interesting. In the work that I previously did, there are temples, so we don't have a temple district. We will just have loose temples. Just put it that way. What do we have here? So slums, 1, 2 slum areas, 1, 2, 3, no, 3 slum areas, 3 residential areas. Let's put these together. Let's make that a 6, just because the 2 2s together is kind of silly. So now let's sketch these out with our pencil. We'll just sort of separate these. We'll just draw lines out from the castle proper. Kind of split that up. So 1 is a slum, so this will be a slum here. 1 is a slum, this will be a slum. And 1 is a slum, so this will be a slum by the docks. 2 will be residential. 2 is residential. 6 will be a temple. 5 is going to be opulent. And 4 will be the market. The market will be here. All right. Now, oh, and then the docks. We'll draw the docks in. Docks. Now, there are various ways to represent the interior of a town in the different areas. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use markers or color pencils, and I'm just going to color in the areas. I don't know if I'm going to do streets. I know the Vornheim supplement says that you should write numbers in, and the numbers are where the streets are. That's something we could do. We could also do some different things, like just draw random streets. I could throw toothpicks down. I've seen that done. So there's various ways to do this, but I think I'm just going to leave them divided up by zone, and we'll make it into kind of a point crawl. So when you move from zone to zone, it takes so much time, and the borders between zones will definitely be encounter areas. So there'll be one set of encounters for the borders and one set of a different set of encounters for the inside. And we'll definitely have a different encounter from opulent to market as you would from opulent to slum. So there may be a wall here. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's draw a wall. The opulent, they're not interested in hanging out with the poor folks. So we're going to have a little tower here. They're going to wall themselves off. And let's put another tower here by the market. And then we'll draw some lines there. So now the opulent area has walled itself off. And so now we have slum, residential, temple, slum, slum, residential. And we'll just go ahead and divide these up. Let's use purple for that. There we go. And so now we have the inner part of the town. We have the opulent part of town. These are separated off. And then we have market, slum, residential, docks, slum, temple, residential, and slum. And now we have Highfork. So there you go. Fast and easy way of laying out a town. If you have any questions or comments, please do drop them in the area down below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. And as always, keep on gaming.